What's up, YouTube? Leo Shank here, host of the Extreme Fillet Fishing channel. Today is June 15th, 2017, my 65th outing of this year. I am back here in good old Pennsylvania. As a matter of fact, today I'm here in Yardley. Check this out. I'm right here at the Delaware Canal, State Park. Not spot burning at all, okay? I mean, I'm right here at the Lock 5, right? Lock 5, L-O-C-K 5, right? At the Delaware Canal. I mean, you know, you guys know me, right? You want to come here and hit the spot? Hey, Google it up. Feel free to do so. You know, it's public. It's open for everyone. If you think you are able to come here and catch fish, why not give it a try, right? So anyways, today we are going to do a very entertaining video here at the canal. A lot of people usually come here on the channel and they ask me, Leo, what is a good setup plus lure for a beginner when it comes to bass fishing? And I have been answering this question for years, right? Since I started my blog, my Instagram, my Snapchat, and my YouTube page. Today I finally decided to make a video on it, okay? So if people keep asking, I'm just gonna give them the hyperlink of this video. So in this video today, right here at the Delaware Canal, we're going to do a little bass tutorial, you know, a very good setup, rig, lure that is highly effective for beginners in this field, okay? It is well known that in this country, bass is really the fever, right? So let's try to teach folks there, especially kids, you know, how effective this setup can be. All right, before we start fishing for today, I'm going to give you guys a few pointers as to why I decided to select the rig and the lure that we're going to be using for today. Let's do that. All right, guys, before we start the fishing session for today, I just wanted to give you guys a few pointers as to why I selected this specific rig and this specific lure for our fishing session today, right? And why is it so well suited for beginner bass anglers, all right? Not every lure in the market when it comes to bass angling is actually good for beginner anglers, okay? I just want you to keep that in mind. Some lures in the market require a lot of technique and a lot of experience, but the one that we are using for today, not so much. So in this portion of the video, which is pretty much the tutorial part of the video, I am going to be talking about three different things, okay? We're going to branch out and talk about when, where, and how, which are three things that I find very important for anyone to think about before selecting a lure in the setup to fish in a certain location, right? Now, when it comes to the when portion of this lure, right? This lure is highly effective. Doesn't matter what time of the year you are targeting largemouth bass. It could be pre-spawn, spawn, post-spawn, or even during the winter time when they enter a state of torpor. If you just change the size of this lure, all right, and you adapt the rig to it, you should be able to catch some fish. So, you know, I am doing this video thinking about the beginner bass angler, someone who doesn't have a lot of experience in the field, right? And when that happens, you want to use something that will increase your chances of catching fish. So when you guys go out there and you just Google this lure and this rig, you will see that it is highly effective, okay? Its catching ratio is really high. Thing number two is where to use it. In this video for the beginner bass angler, I could have selected any lure, okay? If I wanted to, I could have selected a frog for some top water fishing. But then just think this way, right? Maybe today I'm here at the Delaware Canal when I catch a lot of fish on the top water, and wow, I show you guys that it works in a public watershed. You guys go out there, buy the frog, go to your local watershed, and then you don't catch anything, right? That can be really discouraging, you know what I'm saying? So this lure that I'm showing you guys today with this rig, right, this whole setup is very versatile. It doesn't matter which part of the country you are in, or maybe even you're watching this outside of the country. If you use it, it is almost guaranteed you are going to catch some fish, all right? So As you can see, bass fishing varies a lot from region to region, right? Something that works extremely well in my area may not work so well in your area. Today I'm fishing a canal, right? If I selected a certain lure that wasn't very versatile, it may not work really well in reservoirs or in creeks or in rivers. This lure is a little bit different, as you will see. You know, it doesn't matter where you are in the country, okay? And as a matter of fact, this is a very good lure for all bank fishermen, shore fishermen out there, because when you select this lure right here, you can just cast along the shoreline or right next to cover, okay? Sometimes you see the largemouth bass because the water is clear, you can side fish for it and cast right next to it, and it will work. So okay, we have covered the when and where. Now we will talk about the how. And how are you going to fish it, right? And this is really important too, because the how portion of any lure defines how much energy you are going to spend for the day. I will give you guys a clear example of what I am talking about here, okay? The reel that we are going to be using for today is the KastKing Mela 3000 that I have in my hands. As you guys know, this is one of my trusted reels and I recommend it to everyone, right? Because number one, it is affordable out there in the market. It is a really cheap reel. And even so, it has a really good drag system that is very smooth and yet very durable. Now, the KastKing Sharky 3000 is a 5.2 to 1 gear ratio. And for those of you who are not familiar with gear ratio, which is actually a very important concept when it comes to bass fishing, right? It is pretty much as the name implies, right? It is a ratio between two numbers. And in this case, in this reel, it is 5.2 to 1. What exactly does that mean? That means that every time you turn this knob right here 360 degrees, meaning that you did a full cycle, a full rotation, your spool rotated 5.2 times, okay? So 5 times plus a little bit more. And that is the amount of line that gets back to you, right? Which is what makes gear ratio so important for bass anglers. As you will see in this video, the technique and the lure that we're going to use for today, for the beginner angler, it is absolutely fine to use a reel that has very low gear ratio, like this one, 5.2 to 1. If you are really into bass angling and you have a high knowledge of gear ratio, you will probably come to realize that all the professional bass anglers out there, I am talking about the FLW or the Bassmaster anglers, they tend to stick with reels that have a gear ratio of 7.1 to 9.1, right? And just a little while ago, KastKing itself released the fastest bait caster, right, in the world, which was 9.3 to 1 gear ratio. And you may ask yourself, why is it that they do that, right? Why do they prefer 7.1 to 9.1 over 5.2 to 6.1, right? And the answer is simple, right? As you guys saw, right, from the science perspective, every time you turn your knob one time, right, which is number 1 over here, this spool turns 5.2 times. Similarly, if you have a reel that has a gear ratio of 7.1, well, every time you turn it one time, it's gonna turn 7.1 times. It's gonna turn more, right? And the more you turn, more line comes in. So when you fish baits in the market where you need a fast retrieve or you want to conserve energy, you go with the higher gear ratios, okay? Today we're fishing at a canal that is 4 feet deep, you know? I'm gonna be throwing this lure around and doing a little retrieve very slow. It is fine to use this, you know? We were not going to waste too much energy. But if I were fishing drop shot in 20 feet of water, okay? Or if I was KVD, Kevin Van Dam, and I would be burning a jerkbait or a crankbait the whole day on the water, you don't wanna go with a 5.2 to 1. You wanna go with a 7 to 9, okay? So this is pretty much how it works. And I mean, all the pros out there in the market, they just know, right? That it saves much more energy to just slow down your retrieve on a fast reel rather than reel in really quick on a slow reel, right? So this is pretty much it for why I have selected the lure and the setup for today, okay? For the beginner bass angler, you can go with gear that is very average and very affordable in the market, nothing too fancy, and you can use this lure that I'm going to be using today in all kinds of different environments. Doesn't matter where you are and doesn't matter when around the year, okay? So now that this tutorial portion of the video is done, finally let's get our setup ready. I'm gonna do some fishing here at the Delaware Canal. Hopefully we're going to catch some nice bass. Stay tuned. Alrighty, now it is really the tough part of this video, which is catching fish. And I would like to emphasize, today I'm fishing one more time. Today I'm fishing the Delaware Canal in Yardley, right at Lock 5. This is a public watershed, not privately owned. Anyone can come here and do some fishing, all right? The lure rig of preference for today is going to be a wacky rigged Senko that I'm going to set up here really quickly, all right? So as you guys know, the Senko, as I mentioned in the tutorial portion of this video, is highly effective. Doesn't matter what time of the year you use and where you are around the country or even outside of the country, okay? So let me just quickly grab a Senko from my box, and this is what we are going to be using for today. I prefer the pink color, so I'm gonna start with a little pink colored Senko that has been already quite damaged by previous fishes, right? And if I need any extras, there are plenty of them over here, okay? Let me get my stuff set up. We gotta get this fishing session started. Oh, fish on, fish on, fish on, fish on, fish on, fish on. Let's see. Fish on. Oh, man. Our first victim of the day is small largemouth bass. Look at that. Quite the dink here, you know, but still. Hey, it's working, right? The Senko, there we go. Hooked on the top of the mouth. Senko on the O-ring here, right? Got my Katsu hook with a little leader, just in case we get any chain pickerel. There we go, first low. Sorry about that, folks. Damn, son. All right, let's not mistreat this guy any further. First bass of the day. There he goes. Look at that. Oh, we got a bite, we got a bite. Fish on. It's a nice fish. It's a nice fish, fellas. It's a pickerel. Now you guys know why I have that leader on, huh? Look at that. Whoa, son. That's a nice fish, guys. I mean, for the Delaware Canal, hell yeah, look at that. Look at that. Chain pickerel, man. Yeah, see that? Pickerel? Yeah, it's a pickerel. Does it have a thing in face? Alright, guys, having a little bit of a hard time landing this pickerel here. You know, I don't want to get myself too dirty. So if it goes away, it goes away. But hopefully we will land this fella, yeah? So stay tuned. There we go, guys. Got itself unhooked, huh? Look at that. But that was going to be our second fish of the day. And let me tell you, you guys may have realized in this video that I'm using a little leader here together with my Senko, right? And a lot of people would question it, probably say, why is it that you are doing that? Well, the reason is simple. I'm fishing here at the Delaware Canal today, and as you guys can see, there are plenty of those pickerels around this area. So if you were fishing an area that there's only largemouth bass, but no species with teeth on it, right? You definitely don't want this extra piece on your line because it just does not make it look natural. So what do? You just tie the hook, right? Take it off and tie the hook directly on your line with just your Senko and your O-ring, right? I started using O-rings this year because, as you guys see, you can catch multiple fish on it without losing your Senko, so it saves you some money. But yeah, I mean, that was a great fight, you know, good catch and release. The fish never came out of the water, and that's a good thing. So let's keep fishing, see what we can land today. Oh, fish on. Ah, I lost it. Ah, freaking pickerel. Son, it wasn't a big one, but it took it with a vengeance, man. I saw it coming all the way up to take it. Wait, took it again? Oh, he took it again. Holy moly, look at that. I just lost the same fish. Oh, it got off. See, it didn't get my leader, but it took my Senko this time. Look at that. Even with the O-ring, I think maybe chilled through the O-ring, but look at that. Dude, it was the same fish 2 times right in front of me, all right? I don't know about the largemouth bass, but the chain pickerel are pretty active today. Man, I'm a little bit sad now. That Senko that I've been using so far, the pink one, was the Senko from the One Senko challenge that I did a while back on the channel. And that pickerel just took it, man. Oh. So yeah, that Senko before using it today, I had caught 13 fish, 13 bass from the Schuylkill River on that Senko, yeah. And finally, the pickerel took the Senko right over there, so that one had to be retired forever, let's just say it like that, you know. But our quest for fish continues. As you guys can see, I'm running here a wacky rig Senko just along all this cover right here, right? All the vegetation. It's been a great day so far. 2 chain pickerel lost and 1 bass, 1 small bass hooked, you know. And I'm not even halfway down this canal yet. So hopefully the action is going to stay like this. I will be able to actually find the fish and catch them for you guys. Stay tuned. Oh, fish on. Oh, hell yeah. Came from the weeds, man, and hit that Senko like it was nothing. Look at that, nice little chain pickerel. Yeah, look at that, look at this little guy right here. Was hiding right in the weeds. Look how beautiful it is. All right, little pickerel, time for you to come up here. Come up, pickerel. Look at this, guys. First pickerel that we landed for today. Whoa, got him hooked right away. Look at that, huh? This is a beautiful fish right here. Much smaller than the other 2 that we lost earlier today. But hey, it is a nice sample regardless, right? Let me take a shot at this guy, and we're gonna make sure we release it. All right, guys, let's release our chain pickerel right here. Give it a little bit of time, you know, for it to recover. Whew, it was in the grass for a little while, you know. Let's see if it's good to go. Let's see if it's good to go. Look at that. We're still recovering, still recovering. Still recovering. Yeah, let it recover a little bit. It fought a great fight. We're going to be ready soon, huh, fish? Look at that. It's a beautiful, beautiful fish, man. This is truly a gorgeous fish. Whoa, there it goes. Look at that. Oh my god, it's so gorgeous. Look at that, just swimming away. He's probably thinking, man, this is the worst worm that I ever eaten in my life. Alright guys, this is it for today. I've been fishing the Delaware Canal for about 4 hours now. Action was quite good at the beginning, wasn't it? All the chain pickerel, the little largemouth bass. I thought it was going to stay like that for the rest of the day. But I gotta tell you folks, 90 degrees Fahrenheit out here. I've been walking this canal up and down, and that was all the fish that I could muster for today. There were a few miscellaneous catches that I'm going to leave at the end of this video. Okay, I kind of swayed away a little bit from the Delaware Canal while shooting this video, but nothing big and nothing too exciting, you know. Needless to say, even though I didn't land any nice largemouth bass today, right, the technique that I use in this video, the rig, the setup, and the lure, they are highly effective. So, you know, seriously, I recommend, you know, try it out around your area and see what you can catch, because I'm telling you, if you can't catch a fish on a Senko, boys and girls, no, I'm just kidding, okay? But seriously, try it out, okay? I'll see you guys next time. Gotta go get something to drink now, get myself hydrated, tie lines, and until next time. Fish on, fish on. What we got here? On the river, on the river. What we got here? Fish on, man. Oh, it's a smallie. Check that out, huh? It's small mouth bass. Oh, son. Oh, son. Hell no. Okay. Mistreated the smallie a little bit, but there you go. Huh? Beautiful smallmouth bass from the Delaware River. Came up with a gigantic leech on its body too. Okay. All right, let's take a photo, release this guy. All right, smallie, you've suffered enough in the hands of the Asian. I know you want to go back. Whoa, man, he was ready to go. Fish on. What we got here? Oh, hell yeah, son. The little largemouth bass, yeah? Whew. I think this largemouth bass is gonna do much better at the canal than this creek. So I gotta release this guy above. Let's do that. There we go. Yeah, let's release this little fellow over here. He's gonna live much better in this environment, I believe. There he goes. Alrighty.